I did graduate from high school. Um, See, I ended up moving out with the family. I was 18, 19. I left. I mean, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just left, moved to Texas, and didn't have a plan. Just left. I was probably just getting away from what I was doing here. Um, I didn't say a word to my family. I didn't say nothing. I just left, and my dad finally got a hold of me, and I think that it was um, just trying to get away from the myself, basically, I guess, um, and the madness of drugs and alcohol. Um, but I did, didn't have a plan. I went to Texas, met a lady, we got married, had a couple of kids, did that did that thing, and it wasn't just like the um, I wasn't even trying to like I was trying to do good, and trying to live a normal life, and but there was always that urge, to do wrong, and and it just got more and more uh, uh like progressing, over the years. It's got worse and worse with all sorts of different kinds of drugs. It never had no type of drugs. It was just whatever, you know, whatever I could find. Um, I, uh, I did basically, keep a job most of the time, and I've been blessed to things that haven't happened, like, I've never been to prison. I, but if I kept going down that road, it would just have been a matter of time, Um, I think that, um, eventually, marriage kind of fell apart from my drug addiction, and the the things I put my kids through, not being there, and just the madness, and the dysfunctional way I was, and uh, it's not like I didn't care. I didn't I just wasn't there. I wasn't present, you know. I was selfish, doing my own thing. Um, but so 2019, I think I got clean and sober. No, it was earlier than that. It was 2002, and that was the first time I went to rehab. Um, I stayed clean for a while, I did the thing, but somewhere down the line, I kind of got off the wrong path and went right back down into that uh, mess, and the madness of addiction. I I mean, no matter how bad it got, really, I've always kept working, and never really. I mean, I've lost a lot, but you know, um, and from when I went through that divorce with my ex and losing the kids, and I stayed sober through all that. I did. It was later on where I went through several different relationships and things didn't work out because of my addiction, and I've always had a you know problem finding like the right people to be around when like trying to stay sober. Is always that what kind of group of people to be around, and it was, it always wound up bad. Like I always found the wrong woman, always found the wrong people to hang around, and and it always gave me, bring me back right back down to that level, and there was a time where you just all your morals just they go out the window. You really stop caring about everything. And for me, it was you know better. Like I knew better, you know, but still did the whatever was in front of me. Um, and there's other things that not everything was bad. I did do a lot of good things. You know, I did keep a job for many years um, through my addiction. There's always that job where boss doesn't care if you're using. Um, as long as you show up and do your job, and that just got me in more trouble. Um, but I really wanted to do right. But sometimes I couldn't. I just it's that feeling of there's something to look forward to. Um, like I would look forward to it every day. You know, and then living in sobriety is way different. It's you looking forward to doing the right thing. And that's different. It's a whole different way of looking at things.
You want to talk about the most recent time you got sober?
Yeah. So I was working a job. I was traveling state to state. I was doing uh, I'm not gonna name any names or anything, but and doing construction, and I had no accountability. I was just kind of just a wild, uh, just spun out of my mind, working out of state, um, doing what I wanted to do. No accountability. And I wasn't responsible at all. I was just a loose cannon, basically. Um, it doesn't matter where I go. It seems like I always find what I need. I could be in any state and find trouble. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I guess that saying where I don't leave. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I don't leave. Um, I don't know. I Sometimes I'm really trying to like get ahead. And that seems so far out of fetch sometimes. And the reality is I have to fix myself. Like look at myself. And and really come to terms with that. And see the month of December I overdosed 4 times, and I was in Florida working, and and I and, and I wrecked my truck, and and then the fourth time I woke up in the emergency room, I really had to look at myself and like this is not the way I want to live. Um, this is a matter of time. I'd either be dead or locked up, or I could have killed somebody. You know what I mean? Or myself. Let me go back a little bit. See, what year was that? 2010. I was out, out. scoring something, and I was with my chick, and we were arguing, and we ended up, I don't know, I did got in a car accident, and I rolled my truck about 4 times, and I was thrown from the vehicle, and she was with me, and I ended up breaking several ribs and crushed my sternum, and had to have a spinal fusion in my back and a bunch of metal, and yeah, very long procedure that was difficult to go through, but it didn't stop me from using drugs. It was just another excuse. It was just another excuse to go out there and do what I wanted to do, and it actually was easier because I could, you know, lie to the doctor, about and then get all the pain meds I wanted, and then that gave me the idea of well, I could start doing a pill mill thing, and that just spiraled down more, uh, and then I did that for years, and then I didn't really need to work then, but it really all just caught up because I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up with it all, you know, um, because my head wasn't right and I couldn't keep up with anything, and trying to keep a job and worrying about what my chick's doing and trying to worry about this job over here, and I wasn't even right to even do any of that in my own mind. But the illusion that I was, you know, the illusion that I was being um, responsible, you know, it was a big illusion. Like, I got this, but I'm half wasted most of the time, and can't tell you a thought from tomorrow, and um, I don't know, man. I just really got sick of living that way and being sick, you know. That was, and you couldn't, you wanted to quit. Well, for me, I wanted to quit, but couldn't, you know. And I I finally surrendered when I was in that hospital bed for the last time, and when I overdosed, and it was like I've had enough. I'm done living this way, and and it doesn't matter. It's basically the way I looked at it was, do I want to die or do I want to save my life? And the thing is, I've said that in the past before, and I've you know skinned by, hanging by a feather, or a leaf, but I I've always been like an introvert. Never really told anybody about my addiction, and the family kind of knew, but I've always been like, I've never told anybody about my business, and really, really kept it to myself. But they knew, everybody knew. I wasn't hiding anything. But I'm just tired of letting my family down, you know, trying to do the right thing, and even sometimes I feel like I'm doing the right thing. It's not the right thing. Um, I did end up going to Woodhaven. It's been almost over 100 and some days there, and I knew in my mind that because I've been through this is my sixth rehab I've been through. Um, that I knew I needed to be in somewhere that's structural. You know, I needed structure, and I needed to build a foundation for myself. And I I man. And this is where I came. It's Good Shepherd, and they helped me, They really helped. This is a good place, man. And I needed this. I learned that I just don't have a drug addict. I mean, a drug problem. I have like a living problem. You know, I I don't I don't know how to live. You know, and that was something hard for me to learn because I've had really good jobs. And I've always never was ever really said I had a problem with my employment, but it's just like if you show up, they don't really say not much to you unless you're really like, you know, to that point. Um, I just really, I think back and it's when you get sober and you think back of all your feelings, you think about the damage you've done to your family and the things that you're not you feel I feel like ashamed, like that I put my kids through all that, and that's something I'll have to maybe work out in the future. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I there's still a lot of work on. I still got a lot to work on. I know I can't do that using, I know for me, I have to stay sober for me and to even be a person. I mean, I'm really trying to learn who I am, and and yeah. I mean, just to go back here a little bit, and I just kind of think of things like, if the girl I was dating at the time in that car accident, I could very well she could have died, and that would have been it for me, you know. But you know, somebody's been looking after me, man. Like so many different ways, and the first two times I overdosed, some strangers like saved my life, and that was that wasn't me, and I was in Florida, away from everybody. I had no soul, I was there by myself working, and acting a fool. But I really had to come to terms with myself. It's more of basically what the bottom line is. If do I want to stay alive? You know, and I, in the past I would be like, yeah, but I'm still gonna do it my way. You know, but it just got to the point where I'm like I'm done. Just the chaos and the lifestyle and the you know the line and the plot and just the just all the junk that goes along with it, and it's not a way to live life, man. Um, but I don't know. I really don't know how to express it sometimes, and getting sober and actually feeling your feelings, and it's the drowning with drugs and alcohol. It's a whole different experience, and I've been down this road before, you know, um, but it's always different every time, you know. It's opens, it I don't know, You know, they say this is a, a progressing disease. It's no joke. You know, every time I went out, it's like I left off where I started. You know, and I've had some time in the past. You know, and it is better on this side. You know, I'd rather live sober than messed up all the time.